the president.
Yes.
Thank you for having us. I will listen.
No. Enormous round of applause for coming out today.
Yeah.
The question is, can we give a boo to Trump and Musk? I think we can give them a boo. How about you?
Yeah.
What about for Howard Lutnick? He said
Oh, unbelievable. Only for us
Thank God that they're saying it out loud.
Because who rely on Social Security for over 90% of their income. You think that they're going to miss their check?
Yeah.
What about everyone else? Just that it's our money. Do you think that we're going to miss our check?
Yeah.
Because it's our money. No one does anything when it comes to Social Security. And I know that's why we're all out here today to say hands off our Social Security.
Yeah.
And again, I want you all to give yourselves a huge round of applause for coming out this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make sure I get done. Hey, how you doing, Lynn? Good to see you, brother. You good?
Behind, right over here, so that you're behind the tent. Behind the speakers, so that you're behind the speaker. You're going to stand right where it says 297 under the red awning thing right there. You just shift over that way.
Yes, because then we can see all the people on TV. Oh, but you put the
That's where we walk, right?
Yeah.
Who's money?
Save the safety net. I love it.
Who's money?
Our money.
Who's money?
Our money.
Hands off.
Social Security.
Social Security.
Social Security.
Hands off.
Hands off.
Social Security.
Social Security.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Hands off.
Social
Security.
Social Security.
Whose money?
Our money.
Whose money?
Our money.
Woo! Thank you all so much. We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes. And in the meantime, I don't know if anyone else wants to take the megaphone for a second and maybe talk about why you're here. Come over and talk to me.
All right.
We're still waiting. How are you? Nice to meet you. Okay. Hi, my name is Michelle. Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm here for my brother and my mother. Unfortunately, my brother doesn't have a pension. When he retires, he's relying on Social Security. Hi, sorry about that. My mom and my brother will rely on Social Security. My brother doesn't have a pension. He's worked hard all his life, thinking that one day he'll have his Social Security. And I lose sleep at night. I have a pension. I need my Social Security, but I lose sleep at night. He's in Florida. Who's going to take care of him? He's my younger brother. And this just can't happen. It just can't happen. And
Can't hear, we know.
Yep.
We understand that it might be hard to hear. We're just having some people share their stories. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And she was saying that her brother relies on Social Security. He has nothing else to rely on. And if he loses his Social Security, it's not something that he could survive without. And I think they were talking about millions of Americans in the same situation. And we're waiting for a couple more minutes here, but I'll just say a few words that I think everyone here knows. Who gives us Social Security?
We do.
We do. It's our money.
Yeah.
It's our money. Yes. We know that. We see it coming out of our paycheck every pay period.
Yeah.
right.
So when these billionaires are destroying the Social Security Administration so that we we can't get our money. It's just them reaching their hands into our pockets and stealing our money.
Yeah.
Listen to this story. Listen to this
And you know
story.
what? We're here today to say no.
No. No.
And that's how we stand
Hell
up
no.
to these attacks on our Social Security system. It's just all of us, everyday people saying no.
Yeah.
We have somebody who wants to hear a story, and I know it might be hard to hear. We're going to do our best, okay?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
My mom
Aren't we all?
is 90. And we just were following up on a strange bill that we got asking her to pay for medical care. And the reason why, after 3 hours of being on the phone, is we were told that her account was marked miscellaneous, and nobody at Social Security had a clue what that meant. But she was suspended. First thing, check your bank account. They're
Yeah.
not letting you know
Yeah.
the money's out.
That's right.
That's up to you to make sure that your loved ones, yourself, that you keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
They can also take money back out of your bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will.
So, with the story continues, I've connected her up to her congressman that's being reviewed that way, which I don't put any hope in that. And also called again and said, well, we still don't know what miscellaneous means, but we'll send it to the processing center for benefits. So I'm holding my breath, no, and I'm letting you know, check your account.
Yeah. Yeah.
And raise your voice.
Very good.
We got
Yeah.
I'm going to take the speaking portion. I'm going to actually get our speakers lined up so we can start the program portion, because some people have, we're going to do stories after the program portion. So thank you so much. And if cameras or anybody wants to get set up, now's the time to do it. We're going to be starting very shortly.
With my coffee. With your coffee.
And where is Congressman Latimer?
He's right here.
Jessica Chang told me to tell you. Even though you just saw it. Yeah, we're going to get started.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Give me 1 second to grab some of these signs.
Hey, George. You want us to hold them?
Yeah, you've got some great signs.
How's it going? Good to see you
Got
guys.
some great ones.
How are you, Randy?
Does anyone need a sign up here?
I do. George.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
George,
Thanks for the issue.
Everett. Have you met
Yes, we
Everett?
just had a chance to talk. I've seen him speak once before.
He's managing.
Oh, Andrea's here.
Trustee. Thank you. Nice to see you. Oh, the kid?
I'm sorry. Does he know the officials, elected officials who are here from this area?
I'm not sure.
All right, because I can do that for him.
Yeah. Well,
Alex. I know the local officials who are here. Do you want me to recognize them?
Yeah.
Like the state senate lead. I'll do that first.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'll do that.
thank you.
Yeah. I made a career out of doing this.
And you speak first, too.
Yes. Okay. Good. Hey, Bruce.
We're going to be getting started here in just a minute or two.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I see you and Nate are here. Anybody else in the assembly?
The speaker.
Huh?
Both of you.
Where's God? Speak.
Right next to George Latimer. Right.
Jeb. I see Judah and Jewel. Anybody else? Tyrone is here. Okay. I got Judah. I got Shelley and Andrea from the state senate. I got Vinny Rosillo from Dobbs. I got Shelley. I got Vinny Rosillo from Dobbs Ferry. Local officials, Ellen from Greenberg. I got Nader.
Are you announcing
Yeah,
party
because
chairs?
they don't have, well, I'm going to announce Suzanne.
Yeah.
It's not local. It's not local.
No, she's the only, yeah. I'll look here if I see
All right, we're going to get started right now, and I'd like everybody to give a warm welcome to a champion of Social Security, of our earned benefits, and of working people, Representative George Latimer.
Are we fired up today? Yeah! Are we fired up today? Yeah! Are we fired up today? Yeah! Good, because that's what it's going to take.
Yes.
Let me mention that we're not alone. We're joined by some of the most important of our local elected officials and our state leaders. We're joined today by the great leader of the New York State Senate, Andrea Stewart-Cousins. Her colleague, the chair of the Senate Education Committee, Shelley Mayer.
Yeah.
From the New York State Assembly, Mary Jane Shimsky.
Yeah.
And Assemblyman Nader Sage.
Yeah.
We're joined by members of the Westchester County Board of Legislators, the Majority Leader, Tyree Woodson Samuels.
Yeah.
We have Jewel Williams Johnson.
Yeah.
Nancy Barr.
Yeah.
Judah Holstein.
Yeah.
There's 13 more of them. If I see them, I'll mention.
Yeah.
We have the mayor of Dobbs Ferry is here. Vinnie Rosillo. Councilwoman from Greenberg, Ellen Hendricks is here.
Yeah.
Chris Burdick.
Assemblyman Chris Burdick is here.
Yeah.
And why is that important to know? Because this is not a matter of just a few people. This is systematically citizens and elected officials alike that are outraged by what's happened and won't accept it, won't take it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, there's a micro issue here, and that's the closing of a Social Security office in White Plains.
Yes.
Don't be fooled that that isn't part of a larger plan.
Yes.
When they announced that there was the landlord of that building was going to terminate the lease on May 31st, we wrote the administration, and we said that there are options and alternatives. County Executive Ken Jenkins and his administration found acceptable alternative space at a lesser price in White Plains to keep the office open in White Plains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Social Security Administration said, no thanks. We would rather send New Rochelle people to New Haven, Connecticut, and it's on a form. I can show it to you. We'd rather send people from Monticello to the Bronx to have their hearings, which is another way of saying we prefer you don't come to the hearing so that we can cut your Social Security benefits and you don't say anything about it.
That's right. That's right.
I first started contributing to Social Security in my first full-time job, January 1975. I put money into that system, and I knew that my mother and father were alive at the time that Franklin Roosevelt created the system, and that commitment was for them. And every day of their life, when they retired and they received Social Security, I was contributing to a system that had benefits for me in time, but in the meantime benefited the people that the commitment was made to back in the 1930s. That system has worked. Elongated Musk wants to tell you that it's a Ponzi scheme. It's no Ponzi scheme. No! And we've seen people who come to you in need, and they say, all I have is my Social Security check. That's all I have. I can't pay my rent. How can you help us? And then the county government and the state government and the town and the village and the city governments try to be helpful in any way possible. And up until 62 days ago, the federal government was on your side.
Yes.
And I might add, through Republican as well as Democratic leadership.
Yes.
You have a different dog in the fight now.
Yes.
This guy is different.
Yes.
He talks about closing offices today, but they intend on ending Social Security.
That's right.
That's what they intend to do.
Yes.
And the people who work in labor to do this work, the members of unions, the law judges, all of those people that lose their job, they don't care. Not important. They're not part of Mar-a-Lago's family.
That's right.
They're out on the street. Tough darts. It's a new America. On the 250th anniversary of America, we're not going to have America anymore.
That's right, sir.
We're going to slap Canada around, our best friend.
Right.
We're going to pick on Denmark
Yeah.
and take their tricycle away from them because we want to.
Yeah.
We're going to get in bed with Russia and vote in the United Nations. And I assure you, my friends, and remember I said this, if we make enemies out of our allies, on foreign affairs and here at home, our enemies will make friends of them, and it won't be America first.
That's right.
It'll be America last.
That's right.
The last domino to fall.
Yeah.
When we look for friends, we won't have any in South America.
That's right.
We won't have any in Europe.
That's right.
Because we turned our back on them.
Yes.
We turned our back on the American people by breaking a commitment, a 100-year commitment on Social Security. We stand together. We fight together. It will take time. Remember that we did not win the Second World War in 2 months.
No.
We did not keep the Union together in the Civil War in a half a year. It took 4 years of struggle. This is not going to be overnight.
No.
But if you're committed to the long run, we will win. We will win.
We will win.
We've got
We will win.
We will win. We will win. We will win. Thank you so much.
We will win.
I want to bring to the podium right now an absolute champion for working people all across this country, National President of the American Federation of Government Employees, Everett Kelly.
Right. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Congressman Latimer, and to all of you that's here today, to the elected officials, and to my friend Randi Weingarten, who has always been a champion for working America. I also want to thank the employees who work here at this Social Security building right behind us. Give them a round of applause. They work every day, every single day, to make sure that Americans get their Social Security benefits that they earn, that they deserve, and that they need. Now, we appreciate your hard work, and I want to say that firsthand. We appreciate your hard work, and it's shameful how this Trump administration treat public servants like you. It is a shame. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a shame? It is a shame. Now, the office... Shame. Now, the office behind me is busy and productive every single day. Because what they do for America every single day is make sure that America receives their benefits. Now, this is what we're here today to do. We're here today to tell Elon Musk and to tell Donald Trump that they need to take their hands off of our Social Security. What do you say about that? They need to take their hands off. Now, this is the thing. We are all family, right? We're all family. All of us are family. And when family fight together, guess what? We win together. We are family, and we ain't going to take no crap off nobody because it's not in our DNA. We are here to fight. We're going to stand as family, and we're going to fight until we win. How many of y'all with us on that? Listen. Tell Elon Musk it's time for him to go. Let me hear you say it. It's time for you to go. We are here to fight, and fight we will. We will stand up as family, and we'll let you know when it's time to go, and that time is right now. Now. Because we, the people, have the power. Let me hear you say it. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power, and fight we will. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to keep it going with another champion of the people, National President of the American Federation of Teachers, Randi Weingarten.
Randy.
This button?
Mash.
This button?
Or this button.
That one.
I don't think right now, with so many people, even a teacher's cafeteria voice would hold here. So, I'm so honored to be here with Congressman Latimer, with my dear friend Everett, and particularly with everyone who is here, including so many of our elected officials, but so many people who live in Rockland and Westchester. Any other places? Connecticut. Anybody else? The Bronx. Long Island. Sullivan. And the reason I want to address, you just heard the preacher. Now you're going to hear the teacher. The reason I want to talk to the folks who are here first, before I talk to the elected officials, is because of this. We, and I'm putting my teacher hat, Clara Barton High School, Brooklyn, New York, my mother's teacher hat, Nyack, New York. The reason I'm putting my teacher hat, how about now? Can you hear me now? They it this way. The reason I'm putting my teacher hat on first is because if you think this is unprecedented, you are not crazy. It is.
It is.
We have never, in the United States, in the modern age, we have never faced the kind of assault on people that has happened in the last 60 plus days.
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
And even though it's coming fast and furious, and even though they're trying to say, don't look here, don't look here, because they're doing that kind of chaotic work on purpose.
Yes.
Because what they want us to be is tired.
Yes.
They
Yes.
want us to throw up our arms and say, it's too much, we can't do anything.
Yeah. No.
And they want us to be scared
Yes.
and be frightened.
Yeah.
That is what they want.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, as somebody back there said, they want the people to be broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the assault, though it's broke and broken, exactly. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Teachers have eyes and ears behind their heads.
Yeah.
Because I learned that from my mother. Every time she was saying something she didn't want me to hear, I'm like, what? So this is what we must do. Everybody who's in this parking lot now, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Everett said it. The congressman said it. Once they close an office so that people can't get to the farther office,
Yes.
fewer and fewer people get the benefit.
Yeah.
Yep.
This benefit, by the way, is an earned benefit.
Yeah.
Every single person who gets Social Security has paid for it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
is it's an earned benefit.
Yeah.
Benefit. Yes.
So, number one, when they close an office, it is to try and stop people from getting the benefit.
Yeah.
Number two, when they change a phone system, it is to stop people from getting the benefit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number three, when they close an office and change a phone system, it creates trauma for not only the retirees who may not be able to get into a car,
Yeah.
hire a lift
Yeah.
to go 40, 50, 60 miles to get to an office,
Yeah.
or have a kid or a grandkid who can do that for them.
Yeah.
It creates trauma
Yeah.
and anger
Yeah.
because of the cruelty.
Yes.
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 And the cruelty is the point.
Yeah.
So, all of this, as Everett said, and then to boot, number four, I think I'm up to four, I'm a social studies teacher, not a math teacher, but the four, and then on top of it, just fire people
Yeah.
willy-nilly
Yeah.
to create the cruelty there as well.
Yeah.
Why would you fire federal employees in this way?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the reason I am doing this explaining, everybody here knows what FDR did. Everybody here knows why Social Security is important. Everybody here knows why Medicare is important. I suspect everybody here knows why education is important and why Medicaid is important.
Yeah.
I suspect you all know that.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, this is a remaking of America
Yeah.
to try to undermine
Yeah.
the contract that America has had in its modern age that says opportunity for all. And the contract, more than even our money, and the contract America has had since World War II that says we take care of our elderly. So, and veterans, and disabled folks, and our young kids. That is the contract. Now, this is my do now for all of you who are teachers. This is my homework assignment for all of us.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Everett. Every one of us standing here knows this.
Yes.
The way we fight it, the way we win, is not just being loud in this parking lot. The way we fight it and the way we win is to convince others about what's going on. It's to talk to others. It's to talk to our friends and our neighbors and our relatives in Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia and in Rockland County.
That's right.
Since we know our congressman from Westchester is here, where is our congressman from Rockland? You're getting my point. It is the people who will win over Elon Musk. It is the people who will win over Howard Lutnick. And we need to remind people that we didn't vote for Elon Musk to call Social Security a Ponzi scheme.
That's right.
And we didn't vote for Howard Lutnick to say, oh, don't worry, no elderly people, including my mother, would care if they don't get their checks for Social Security.
Shame!
But this is a big fight.
Yes, it is.
We know what they're trying to do. We can't just sound the alarm. We need to be out there, not only in the streets, but in the court of public opinion. We need to be in our communities with people who don't always agree with us and say, look, this is what's happening. If you trust me, trust that I am fighting for your future, for your kids' future, for your parents' future, for your grandparents' future. I am fighting for a country that has its better days ahead of us, not behind us. I'm fighting for a country that has opportunity for all. We need your voice. Will you do it? Will you do it? Will you be out on the streets? Will you talk to your friends? Will you talk to the relatives you never talked to even on Thanksgiving? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy. I'm going to bring up to the megaphone President of AFGE Council 215, who represent the workers in this building, Rich Couture.
All right, Rich.
I don't know how I follow that. Thank you. My name is Rich Couture. I'm president of AFGE Council 215. I represent the employees at the hearing office that is closing on South Broadway. As spokesperson for the AFGE General Committee at Social Security, I also represent the field office employees who work here. Now, I'm not going to add too much to what these illustrious presidents have added already, and thank you, Congressman. Social Security is a promise that this nation made to itself 90 years ago this August. And now in 2025, that promise is being broken. You've all been chanting, It's our money. You've been
ours.
paying that money into the system your entire working lives.
Yes.
So that you, when you're done working at the end of your working life, you get to avoid poverty.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, enjoy those twilight years.
Yeah.
But also if you're not able to work because of a medical condition that keeps you from working, you don't have to go into destitution.
That's right.
That promise is being broken.
Yes.
When you see these offices being closed, that is limiting your access to services.
Yeah.
Services you paid for.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
paid for these services.
Yes, sir.
The benefits are no good. The benefits are no good if you can't get them.
That's right.
And so for the White Plains Hearing Office, a busy, productive hearing office that clears 2,200 disability hearings a year.
Wow.
Here in this community,
Yeah.
this hearing office is a canary in the coal mine. Because if Elon Musk and the Department of Government, what's the word?
Evil.
Government evil, the destroyers of government effectiveness,
Yeah, that's what they are.
if they can close a busy metropolitan NYC hearing office, there is no safe office in this country.
That's right.
Sir. That's right.
And none of this is normal.
No.
Normally, in a situation like this, they'll find successor space. And I'm grateful for the congressman and the county government for finding that space, only for SSA to turn around and turn its nose up at it.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
We prefer to have folks with disabilities who need an in-person hearing to travel 130 miles north to Albany, to travel 60 miles east to New Haven, to make the trek into the city, or to go to Jersey City, or to Mars, as I saw in one of these signs. They don't care.
They don't care.
This isn't about service.
No. No.
This isn't about serving you.
No.
This isn't about making anything more efficient.
No.
This is about forcing employees out the door by making them undertake a longer commute, to undertake a larger burden than they already have to. Nobody working for Social Security is getting rich. Nobody on Social Security is getting rich.
No. No.
So what we have here, again, is this breaking promise. We have Elon Musk out there, unrebutted by the president, saying it's a Ponzi scheme, saying that there's $700 billion in fraud that only he can find, yet hasn't produced the receipts. All of this, the breaking of service, the making you travel farther to get your help, to get your benefits, to say that this system is riddled with fraud that only he can find, is all about undermining your confidence in these benefits, your confidence in this program, in the program's very legitimacy, so that they can raid that trust fund, so they can put it in the market, which, as it's been said, this is an earned benefit. This is a guaranteed benefit. And I know all of you have been paying attention to 401ks and have been paying attention to the stock market. Now is proof that we need a benefit that is protected, guaranteed, so that nobody, when they're no longer working or unable to work, has to be poor.
That's right.
It's us against the billionaires. Let's keep this office open. Let's keep all the offices open. Let's save Social Security.
I'm going to bring up Barry Kaufman, the president of New York State Alliance for Retired Americans.
Hi, my name is Barry Kaufman, and I'm proud to stand with you all here in White Plains. I'm the president of the New York State Alliance for Retired Americans, a grassroots advocacy organization with more than 670,000 members who work for retirement security in America. Like so many of our members, I rely on my Social Security benefit every month. More than 3.5 million retirees, survivors, children, and people with disabilities in New York depend on Social Security to make ends meet. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. The members of the Alliance are outraged what President Trump, through Elon Musk, has attempted to do. For 89 years, Social Security has been a sacred promise between the government and the American people. Workers and employers contribute with every paycheck, ensuring financial security for retirees, surviving family members, and those with disabilities. Through wars, recessions, and national crises, Social Security has never missed a payment, and there is no reason it should. The program is solvent, and the dedicated workers at the Social Security Administration do their jobs well, despite having less employees now than at any time since 1995. Yet what is happening in the SSA right now is a travesty, a backdoor cut to the benefits we have earned, and an attempt to discredit the most popular government program ever.
Yes.
Right.
Billionaire Elon Musk and his hand-picked team have taken over Social Security Administration, demanding access to Americans' most sensitive health and financial data. The Alliance, along with AFSCME and AFT, said not so fast.
Yeah.
We filed a lawsuit to stop this unwarranted intrusion. On Thursday, a federal judge in Baltimore agreed. She issued a temporary restraining order to block DOGE's unwarranted access and destroy any data that may have left the SSA. Unfortunately, that's not all the DOGE bros are doing to us to dismantle the SSA. Musk's team has forced out experienced public servants who understand Social Security. Social Security works. They announced plans to slash thousands more SSA jobs and begin shutting down field offices across the country, including here.
Yeah.
And just this week, they announced they are eliminating most telephone services, forcing Americans to file claims online or in person, making access to benefits difficult. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are deliberately spreading lies about Social Security to undermine the America's people confidence in the SSA and Social Security system. They claim there's massive fraud. Yeah. And that benefits are being paid to the deceased without 4.2 million people over the age of 100. When in fact the census says there is about 100,000. Without providing a shred of evidence. They fired the IG of Social Security, and he said that Social Security fraud only accounted for 0.9% of benefits.
That's right.
No fraud here.
No fraud.
And if improper payments for the very old or deceased were cut, it would extend the program for between 6 minutes and 12 hours. Their hand-picked acting administrator has corrected them publicly more than once, but they just keep saying it. Let me be clear. None of this is about efficiency.
That's right.
None of this is about fraud prevention.
That's right.
And none of this event is even about saving money.
That's right.
This is about making it harder for seniors and people with disabilities to access the benefits they've earned. As an example, DOGE claims to have found Social Security loans going to 11-year-olds and under. Not. SBA is not a loan. It's a survivor benefit annuity to young children whose parents have passed.
Yeah.
That's the problem with IT programmers and billionaires without a clue doing a job they don't understand.
That's right.
You can't find what you don't know.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this? Make no mistake about it. Social Security is the most popular government program in the country.
Yeah.
You cannot privatize it and have billionaires making more billions without making the program less favorable. That's
right.
why we overcame George W. Bush and his presence to cut Social Security and privatize it. So by cutting staff in the offices and by making people come to the offices that are left and increasing wait times to have questions answered, you make people mad and suspect of Social Security.
Yeah.
The other reason is to offset their $4.2 trillion tax cuts that overwhelmingly are geared to the top 1% and multinational corporations. The sad thing is that Musk's cuts to Social Security staffing have not saved one penny towards that end.
That's right.
Administrative funding for Social Security does not come out of the federal government budget.
That's right.
It comes out of the Social Security Trust Fund
That's right.
that American contributions plus interest plus taxes on them support. So with the cuts to Social Security, you are not paying 1 cent for the wealthy, and it's not contributing 1 cent towards the deficit.
That's right.
These moves will force Americans to endure longer wait times. I'm going to get to the end. The Alliance for Retired Americans are calling on every member of Congress, Democrat, Republican, Independent, to act. If they truly support Social Security and care about seniors, now is the time to prove it.
That's right.
Congress must stand up to Elon Musk and pass legislation that protects field offices, safeguards our data, and ensures transparency and accountability at the SSA.
Yeah.
Social Security is our money.
Yeah. Our money.
Earned through a lifetime of work, and we have the right to know exactly what's being done with it.
Yeah.
70 million retirees, survivors, and people with disabilities. 70 million retirees, survivors, and people with disabilities are counting on their elected leaders to fight for them.
Yeah.
We refuse to stand by while Elon Musk dismantles Social Security and puts our benefits at risk, while he has paid his FICA tax at 12:01 on January 1st.
Shame.
We will not be the generation that allows Social Security to be destroyed. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to bring up Florence McCue, at-large director of NYSUT.
All right. All right.
Hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, I am here representing my NYSUT president, Melinda Person,
All right.
our officers, and all of our 700,000 members, which include 275,000 retirees. Now, how many AFTers are here today? Let's hear you. And how many union members? Thank you, everybody, and thank you, our community people and our electeds. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we are all here because there's an attack on Social Security from our own federal government.
Yes.
This office right here serviced thousands, including me, and was always busy from 8 in the morning till 7 at night, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
This area office has a very strong reputation for its courtesy, its knowledgeable employees, and high customer satisfaction.
All right.
I have never heard a negative comment about this office, ever.
Right.
And as we know, Social Security offices and benefits are paid for with mandatory deductions from paychecks of working people and their employees. At a time when the annual salary cap should be raised to obtain more benefits, our federal government not only refuses to raise the cap, but has shuttered offices and reduced services that we already paid for.
Yeah.
Shame.
Now, who needs these services? Well, retirees. They receive a partial benefit beginning at age 62, and they have to wait 4.5 to 5 years for their full benefit. Next, survivors. Social Security provides a monthly payment to surviving spouses and dependent children. Now, this benefit became possible in 1940. Before that, surviving spouses in New York were only able to receive income from a widow's pension benefit that came into effect in 1915. My own family needed that survivor benefit because in 1918, when my own mom was 11 months old and her sisters were ages 4 and 2, their dad, my grandfather, at age 28, was killed while working on the trolley car tracks in New York City. These 3 girls and their mom were able to survive because a benefit was available to them.
Yes.
Social Security is also needed because it's so intertwined with Medicare.
Yeah.
Upon reaching age 65, seniors sign up for Medicare through Social Security.
Yes.
Monthly Medicare payments are deducted from their Social Security checks.
Yes.
Now, many never get to receive their own Social Security payments since they just do not live long enough.
Yes.
We all know many who did not make it. At least the money they paid into the system used to be used for needed benefits. Take this, page 3.
There you go.
And Social Security also provides payments for those who become disabled. SSI is used for those unable to work, and we know them too, for severe physical, emotional, or mental disability. But now, our federal government is taking from seniors and our disabled family members and giving our Social Security payments, they're poised to do it, giving it to the rich.
Yes.
Shame.
This is just unconscionable.
Yeah. Shame.
My dad and other veterans like him fought to protect our freedom.
Yes.
And to protect the middle class in this country.
Yes.
Many service people gave their lives to protect our ideals and our democracy. In this country, no one should go without food, without housing, without care, respect, or services they already paid for.
Yeah, that's right.
Our social safety net has to be protected.
Yeah.
This office must reopen. Our hard-earned benefits must be used in the way they were intended to be used. We must not be silent while our payments and our earned benefits are grabbed away by privateers and greedy billionaires.
I'm going to ask President Weingarten to come back up for a special announcement.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So, we're talking a lot about the federal level.
Uh-huh.
But we have a lot of our elected officials here who have really helped every single day on the local level. And frankly, the local level is where we all live.
Yeah.
And we know and we rely on them all the time. And we rely on them to stand in the breach when we have these problems with our federal government. And in some ways, New York is very protected. And New York is very protected because of the person I am about to introduce. Now, it is someone that you all know, but it's somebody that I have known for, I don't know, a decade or two. It's someone, when I was in New York as UFT president and beforehand, I worked with closely. It's someone who is the longest serving Democratic leader of the New York Senate. It's someone who fights every day, not just for Westchester, but all of New York, for opportunity and freedom for all. And that is my friend, your Senator, Andrea Stewart-Cousins.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for doing what you do every day, and let us not sleep on the fact that Randy's under attack. Teachers are under attack. Educators are under attack. Because, you know, we like the poorly educated, I think is what the president had told us. But we are not the poorly educated. We know why we're here. We know what we got to fight for. And I am so happy we have a congressman that puts us all together to stand up for Social Security. Thank you, Congressman Latimer. I want to thank all of the labor leaders who have come out today to remind us how important working people are.
Moving together.
They are moving together and keeping us on the move.
That's right.
I also have the privilege of shouting out. I saw my county executive, Ken Jenkins, get here. I see County Legislator David Imamura, County Legislator Erica Pierce. She's writing down who else I'm supposed to see. I see Assemblywoman Dana Levenberg. Anybody else? Who? Emiliano Una, we're a county legislator. Anybody else I'm supposed to say? Everybody else was said, okay. Okay. Suzanne Berger, who's Shelley Mayer, who we called out before, but she. All right, let me tell you, I was not planning to speak, but none of us were planning to be here to fight about Social Security either, right? Right. So we're going to work in an unplanned world. That's right. There's a lot of stuff happening, and like Randi said, they want you to look here, there. And what happens when we look in all these places, we think, oh, I don't have to look there because this is not about me. I don't have to look here because that's not about me. Maybe that might be about me, but guess what? They finally gave us a national issue. This is about every single one of us.
That's right.
This is about all of us. This is where we galvanize. My father served in a segregated army, World War II, was wounded Purple Heart, Ron Stark, came back, and when he came back to a segregated nation. However, although opportunities were limited, he did join a union. He was able to work every day of his life from the time his father died when he was 13 to when he died with dementia at 91. My father had Social Security in the amount of about $300. He didn't know. Like Lutnick said, he would not have called if he did not get the Social Security check. He had dementia. But the people who take care of him would have called because it made the difference of him keeping a roof over his head with my mother, who he was married to for 62 years, who never worked. And that Social Security mattered. And Lutnick will tell you that if they stopped Social Security, his mother wouldn't call. I would call. You would call. But you know what he told you? If you call, you're a fraud. That's how they figure out who's really faking it. If you call and say, I need this. So we got an easy job to do here. Like they said, you got to talk to people. You know how we do postcards? How we do robocalls? We better start calling all over this nation. Start writing all over this nation to tell every single person in this nation that you are at risk.
Yep.
They are taking our money and giving it to Elon. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we fight for what we need?
Yeah.
Can we fight for our past, our present, and our future?
Yeah.
Let's go win. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name's Alex Lawson. I'm the Executive Director of Social Security Works, and it's a real honor to get to speak here with so many amazing leaders in our community. But the real honor is to stand with all of you here fighting back against this unelected South African billionaire who's trying to steal our money. He's trying to steal our country. He's trying to steal everything that we've built together because he's jealous. Because he's jealous of what we have, which is each other. We understand that when we work together, we can do things that we can't do on our own. We built this country. Working people built this country. The billionaires haven't built a single thing. And that's why they only tear things down. They hate things that work. Social Security works. Traditional Medicare works. Public education works. And you know why it works? Because Wall Street doesn't get a piece of it. Because we don't let the billionaires reach their greedy little hands into it. And that's why they hate it. And that's what we're up against. Don't be confused what's going on. It's billionaires trying to steal our money. It's our money.
It's our money.
For 89 years. For 89 years. Through war and peace. Through boom and bust. Through health and pandemic. Social Security has never missed a single payment. But now we don't know if it'll survive Elon Musk.
It will.
But I do know.
It will.
I know it will because that guy, that Commerce Secretary, what's his name, Ludnick, whatever his name is, he goes on TV and he says that his mother-in-law wouldn't miss a payment if she didn't get it. Right? First of all, I'd like to ask his mother-in-law, because I bet you she would, right? You know why? Because it's our money! It's our money if it doesn't show up. Somebody's stealing our money. But look around. Look around at all the people who are paying attention, who are showing up right now and saying no to these billionaires who are trying to steal our Social Security, our money. Whose money is it?
Our money!
And all of our voices together is why I know that we will have another 89 years where Social Security doesn't miss a single payment.
That's right.
Folks, it's dangerous right now. It's scary right now. I have been all over the country and people are scared. They're worried that they're not going to get their next check. And be vigilant because that's real. The threat is real. They have destroyed critical infrastructure in the Social Security Administration. But what gives me hope, what I know we can rely on, is each other. Look to your left. See that person? Look to your right. You see that person? That's who you can count on. That's who you can count on, and that's who's going to be there when we beat the billionaires and we send them packing. And we win. When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.